Welcome back everybody, Matt the Man here, hope you're doing well. So this past on Christmas Day, we got the remake of Nosferatu. This is the second time it's been remade. This is from the original movie Nosferatu that came out in 1922. Yep. And then we got a remake, and I want to say, in the 70s by Werner Herzog. And now here we are, 2024, Robert Eggers, the guy behind The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman, gives us his vision for this film. I like vampire movies, so very interested in this. Robert Eggers is one of those directors that is a true visionary. His movies are very original, and they have a look and a certain style to them. And also the scripts and the dialogue a lot of times. You look at The Witch, you look at The Northman. No, I was very interested on that note. You got Lily Rose Depp in here, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, William Dafoe, and Emma Corrin. So let's get started. Positives. Lily Rose Depp. Yes, Lily Rose Depp is the daughter of Johnny Depp, who's one of my favorite actors. And you know, when you get like a famous actor, and now you get their children acting, you always wonder, is this just a nepotism thing, or does this actor or actress really have the talent? And I can say that Lily Rose Depp in here is great. She has so many scenes, even though she's not as focused of a character like in the previous iterations of Nosferatu. But there are literally scenes in here where in just one scene, she completely changes from one emotion to another, to her entire body contorting and changing, and then going from one emotion to another, all in the same shot. And I'm watching this going, no way. No way. I mean, this is some acting right here that not a lot of people would be able to pull off. And Lily Rose Depp just throws herself into the role. And I'm surprised we don't get more of her in the movie, but every time she is on screen, I'm like, okay. She always reminded me of like becoming almost like, not in her mannerisms, not in her attitude, but like just in this gothic horror movie. Like she can become the next Christina Ricci of throwing herself in a role and doing more of these horror gothic movies that Christina Ricci became known for, like Addams Family, Casper, Sleepy Hollow. And I'm like, yeah. Nicholas Hoult plays the husband of Lily Rose Depp. Thomas is his name. And I was surprised that he actually is kind of like the main character in this movie. The first half of this movie is focused only on him. Him getting offered the job to go see Count Orlok, aka Dracula, to buy land, and this would be like his first major contract job in order to start a new life with his new wife, played by Lily Rose Depp. And one thing, and I said this just recently, Nicholas Hoult is a great actor. I mean, going from juror number 2 one day, and then 2 days later seeing Nosferatu, and completely forgetting I just watched this actor 2 days ago. He just brings a lot of vulnerability into the role, a lot of very scared at times when he's dealing with Dracula. His scenes with Lily Rose Depp, you feel that romance in there. And like I said, this guy just is a star. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays the friend of Nicholas Hoult. And he's another one. There are so many scenes in this movie that you just go, wow. Yep, forget about Craven the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a really good actor. Go back to Savages. Go back to Nocturnal Animals. This guy, go back to even Kick-Ass. This guy can act. And, and you see it on display in this movie. Now let's talk about Bill Skarsgård. If you didn't tell me that Bill Skarsgård was in this movie as Count Orlok, Dracula, I would have never in a million years would have said Bill Skarsgård is Dracula. He completely changes his voice. Think of Heath Ledger and the Joker. When you hear the Joker, you never think Heath Ledger. Now, I'm not saying that the voice is the same as Heath Ledger's Joker. No. I'm saying when you hear Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, you are never in a million years going to say, oh yeah, that's Bill Skarsgård. Never. He doesn't sound like Pennywise, so it's not even like that either. And then you have the makeup and everything, and you will never, and his body language, it just brings this presence. Plus, Bill Skarsgård is really tall. He just towers over everybody. That adds to that menacing, scary feel for being Dracula. I'm not too fond of the makeup they give Dracula in the face area, but I'm not going to get into that here. Willem Dafoe is also in the movie. He's become kind of like a regular for Robert Eggers, going from the Lighthouse to the Northman, and now Nosferatu. And once again, Willem Dafoe is kind of like this vampire hunter dude. And once again, he brings life to this movie. And he just, we're all living in Willem Dafoe's universe. He was in Kind for Kindness. He was in Saturday Night. He was in Beetlejuice. And he's in Nosferatu. Come on. The music, the score for this movie, very haunting, very gothic vibes to it, which you want in this gothic horror movie. The cinematography is to die for. Beautiful, haunting, looking cinematography. Even these stills that you're looking at still do not give this movie justice on the cinematography in this film. Every frame, every shot is beautiful to look at. This is a movie you see on the big screen just for the cinematography alone. A lot of scenes look like they are black and white, but they're not. It is just the way they shot this film that is just so breathtaking to look at. This is what makes me, even as a filmmaker, even someone who has made movies and knows how movies are made, can sit here and tell you, this is a movie I want to go back and watch when the movie comes out and watch all the behind the scenes of how they made the movie, because the cinematography is amazing. This movie has so much atmosphere. From the moment the first shot is on. Not even going back to the cinematography. There's so many great shots. There's a lot of scenes with the snow falling down. And you just get this very gothic, cold winter. That this is a movie come October of next year when it's Halloween. I'll be wanting to watch it when it's freezing cold out. Or even in December when it's cold and wintry. Put this movie on. The cinematography, like the shot where the hand of Count Orlok is the shadows. You can see the shadow of the hand going over the city. It's breathtaking. It's eerie. It's one of those movies that even if you put this movie on silent, you still get chills from that gothic feel, which brings me into the atmosphere. This movie is full of haunting, gothic atmosphere, darkness throughout. And I love it. And then I get Robert Eggers, who does his own take on this. And it fits when you watch The Witch, when you watch Northman. He still brings even some of his own dialect that works. And it feels this movie set in the 1800s. I never once felt like this is a movie set in the 1800s, but it feels like it's still shot in modern day. This movie feels lived in the 1800s. I never once thought, the wardrobe, the settings, especially the wardrobe, it feels like the 1800s. Some of my negatives with this movie though. This is a familiar story. And I'm not just talking about because this is a remake. You know, we've already had the original Nosferatu and then the remake in the 70s. No, I'm talking about Nosferatu is adapted by Bram Stoker's Dracula. They just changed some names, character names, in some certain settings and moments, and made it more of a, for copyright reasons, for someone else to do the Dracula story. So if you watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, like Francis Ford Coppola's in the 90s, with Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, you are going to get a sense of that, oh, I've seen this before. But I still enjoyed it for what Robert Eggers brought, his own vision for it. Also, Nosferatu, Count Orlok, the vampire. I wish we got more vampire mannerisms, and the look was more of a vampire look than what we get here. I'm not saying copy what we've seen before in the other Nosferatu movies, but I think this movie needed more vampire moments in it. I think the design of Count Orlok, especially in the face, doesn't give me vampire vibes. And there's even a scene where we see his teeth. They're not fangs. They're not, And I'm like, oh, this doesn't, as much of a gothic horror vampire movie this is, when it comes to the actual vampire, we're not getting those vampire moments, those vampire mannerisms, that look of a vampire. So, I wish we got more of those, especially in the hands of Robert Eggers. I think he really could have done something unique with a vampire look. That would have made it scary, but still faithful to the original and the remake. But and that could be just first time seeing the movie. Maybe next time I see the movie, now that I've seen it already, maybe those things won't bother me. So I was still giving it like a 4.8, 4.9 out of 5. Really enjoyed it. It's very gothic horror in there. Love the cinematography. I think, other than for June Part 2 this year, I think this is the best looking film of the year. Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, William Dafoe, bring it in the acting department. Gives that atmospheric gothic vibe. I loved it. So, let me know in the comments below. Did you see Nosferatu? What did you think of it? Do you prefer the original? Do you prefer the Werner Herzog remake? Let me know in the comments below. The Matt here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment.